of thing, but it's nice because we do get to see people like Sierra, who lives on the West Coast, and I haven't seen in like a decade. So it's really nice that we get to do this as well, and hopefully we'll be able to have some type of hybrid thing continue in the future so that we can have other people involved. But I kind of threw this all together because we needed to get this connection back. As all of you know, I mean, I'm glad that we just have more than one page of people signed up for this and called in. We are an extremely tight-knit group. It's one of those groups that we don't have to see each other for a whole decade, but then get back together and click right back in. And so I think we need to harness that and use that to get through some troubling times that we're in right now. But we've got a couple things slated for the next hour, and I promise it won't go more than an hour. If you're lucky enough to be in New York State where it's like 80 degrees outside, you want to kind of soak that in on a nice night before it snows next week. So what we'll do is get this going. First thing is I'm going to pass it off to Coach, and he will answer all those questions that Sierra asked too soon. And get a little update on how things are going. So Coach, take it away.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Quint. And thanks everybody for getting on. It's great. Again, like Quint said, some of you I haven't seen in a long time. So this is a really cool way to get people together. I just thought I'd give everybody kind of a State of the Union address here a little bit about, campus and the team. And certainly I do want to answer any questions that anybody has. So if you have a question, just throw it in the chat there and I'll answer those as we go. Certainly things are very different on campus right now. It's pretty quiet. I think we did a fairly good job this semester. Our melt was a couple hundred students that didn't return to campus, but overall it was pretty good, which was nice. We've been really healthy. Right now I think we only have 14 active cases on campus, which is great. I'm sure you've seen some of the other SUNYs have either sent their students home or been put on pause. So I feel fortunate. I think the students are really doing Brian Patelli's in an off-campus apartment right now. Okay, good. But I think the students have been doing a really great job of being careful and doing the right thing. The president did make the decision to go remote after Thanksgiving. So our students, we really only have 4 more weeks that we've got to keep things under control, and then after that, everybody can be home if they want to, or they can come back after Thanksgiving. They are giving them that opportunity as well. Another change they made, they pushed the start of the semester back in the spring to February 1st. So we'll be coming in a little bit later. They eliminated spring break, so there's no spring break next semester. Really, I think they're trying to eliminate people going all over the country or outside of the country and then coming back. And what I've been told is most of the cases that we've had on campus have been a result of that, where students have gone home or had a guest to campus and brought the virus with them. So overall, really pretty good with health on campus, but it's definitely different and much quieter than normal. As we walk around campus, I've been given a lot of tours with recruits. Our admissions department, we're only giving single family tours. You can't go inside a building, so we took advantage of the nice weather. We've been doing a lot of those as coaches, just giving the tours ourselves. As far as the team goes, unfortunately our pool is empty again right now. Some of the positives that will come from that, though, is they are replacing the air handler, which will be nice. Those of you that swam we've had some air quality issues, so that should be cleared up and much better. They're also replacing and moving some of the filtration system up into one of the squash courts. So hopefully we'll have cleaner water and cleaner air, which will be great. Everything was delayed. It was supposed to be open in September, but work got shut down during the springtime when everything was shut down in New York. So that pushed things back a little bit, but we're hoping for the first week of November. I'm thinking it's probably more likely that we'll be back open. And as soon as it's open, we can start practicing. We're allowed to practice 3 days a week until Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, again, the athletes, it's all voluntary, but they can come back if they want to, and then we can go 5 days a week after that. So, we're really looking forward to it. The team needs to get in the water. they're going stir crazy for sure. Mental health wise, I think as much as anything, they need to get in the pool and be doing what they love to do. Even if it's 3 days a week, I think it'll be great for them and good for our team and our team culture as well. This year we've got 39 athletes on the team, which is awesome. Really big group, 33 young ladies and 26 men. We recruited a few extra girls this year because we've got 11 seniors that are graduating. So there's a big class that's going out. So we backfilled a little bit there. Recruiting again went real well. We had 10 new women that you'll meet a little bit later. Emily did it. Wave, Emily. Emily Smith, for those of you that don't know, she's my assistant coach right now and also all of our new athletes. So you'll see that a little bit later. But again, 10 women and 9 men that are new to the team this year. Unfortunately, on Monday, the presidents from the SUNYAC institutions decided it would be best to not have a winter sports season for the conference. So there will be no conference championships, no conference play for any winter sports. How does that, for the team sports, it's really unfortunate because, they have to, in order to qualify for NCAAs, they have an automatic qualifier. They have to win the conference championship. So without that, they can't qualify for NCAAs. In the individual sports, we're still trying to get an answer to whether or not we can have any sort of competition outside of the conference and potentially qualify for the NCAA championships if that happens. So, we have to put a proposal together and run that up to change to the president. And we're hoping that she'll allow us to do that. But I'm not going to hold it difficult for the NCAA to host the national championship this year as well. We're not the only conference that has shut down. The NESCAC, which, Tufts, Amherst, Williams, some really big swimming programs there. The NCAC, Kenya and Denison are in that conference. I was on a Zoom with the Emory coach on Wednesday, and they only have freshmen on their campus, so they haven't been in the water at all. So there's some really, really big teams that are in the same boat that we are. So, we're not unique in that regard. Sierra, we would have been going out your way, or if it happens, we're up in Seattle this year out on the West Coast, which is unfortunate. Would have been the first time that as far as I know, that the Division III national championship would have been or maybe on the West Coast. So hopefully it still happens. But like I said, I'm not holding my breath. And even in Seattle right now, or Kings County, where the meet is supposed to be, they're infection rate is like 3% right now. But I think some things that were really, I guess we have 2 scenarios for our season. If we can go to NCAAs, then we're going to get in and get as much done, build an aerobic base in the first semester, and then really get at it second semester. Obviously, we won't rest in December. There'd be no reason to do that, and just have a one peak season and hope that we can get some qualifying, which I think we can. We've got some really talented girls, particularly in our senior class, that I think if we have an opportunity, we would be able to get them prepared to swim fast enough to qualify, at least in a couple of relays maybe. We had seven girls that qualified last year that are returning as seniors this year. So, we're hoping for that. If we can't have qualify for NCAAs and we can't compete outside the conference, then really first semester, we're going to, just get in and get to know the new kids a little bit. Second semester, I will really, the NCAA has changed. If we can't shoot for NCAAs, to use it would be to use as many of those 114 days in the second semester as we can, and really try and the team back into a good shape heading into the summer, where hopefully they can have a summer season. And honestly, I'm kind of intrigued by that. If we had that opportunity where we didn't have a conference meet and didn't have NCAAs that we were preparing for, I think I would try some different things, try some different training and see what happens. There's no pressure, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But just that would kind of take that pressure off and give me an opportunity to try some different stuff that maybe I've been wanting to try and I've just been afraid to do it because I didn't want to screw it up and have people that were counting on going to NCAAs not do as well as they had hoped. So that, really those are the two scenarios or two paths I think that we have in front of us at this point. Some of the challenges I think really for the athletes right now, new athletes, they really have no sense of our team culture. It's hard, even on campus, they can't visit other residence halls. Just a couple of weeks ago, they told them that they could visit another room within their residence hall. So, it's been rough. It's really been hard. Even hanging out with the upperclassmen is challenging because our team is 60 people, 59 people. If they all gather in one place, we're breaking the law, I guess, in New York. So, it's been difficult to do that. But I'd really, some things that I'm hoping to get out of this tonight would be to get some alums that are willing to jump on some Zooms and engage the team a little bit. We had Andy Shunk and Donnie McLaughlin did one earlier in the year for us. It went really well. They talked to the juniors and seniors about resume writing, interviews and internships, how to secure internships. I thought it was great information. But anything, even just talking about your experience program, I know they would love to hear it. So, after and another thing I want to try and get out of this is, what events do alumni want us to set up? What would you be excited about? I think we could do a better job of engaging our alums. And I just want to know, the meet is tough, right? Because most of you, after 2 or 3 years, you're not super excited about putting a suit on and jumping back in the pool, right? Clint, I see you laughing. So what can we set up, right? Is it a golf tournament? What event would you be excited about? How can we engage our alums more? I want to hear from you guys on what you'd be excited about. So, after the Zoom, I'll send out probably not till Monday, but I'll send out an email with a Google form and just solicit some ideas on what you would like to see from us as a staff and as a team, and events that we can put on that would have you excited to maybe come back to Geneseo. Be a part of. Certainly, like Sierra can still, a little bit and catch up with what's going on in the team. So I think this is something that we'll probably try and continue if the feedback is good, and find ways to virtually meet. But, I'd love to see people face to face as well when it's appropriate, and try and get people back to campus sometime or as much as we can. So keep an eye out for that, and, please share, fill out the form, tell us what you want. I think that's important for us, and we'll see what we can do. The only other thing I guess that I had without answering any questions was just recruiting and how that is different. It's tough. The seniors in high school now have to choose a college without ever really sitting down face to face or hanging out with the team. Think about your recruiting visits and the time that you spent with the team on campus. And I think oftentimes that's what. Yeah, I see you, Brian Shaw. Oftentimes I think that's what sells our team is that culture that we have in that close-knit group, and because it's where we've got about an hour with the coaching staff, a half hour with admissions, half hour with financial aid, and then I think the team's been doing a really good job of engaging the athletes, the recruits as well. They've got about an hour session that they do. And an idea I had was to maybe find some alums that would want to be a part of that as well. And just talk a little bit about your success and what you're doing now. I think that's a big selling point, certainly for parents, but I think for the students as well, is seeing the alumni that have been successful and are out there, doing their thing and that are still engaged in our program and willing to be a part of it. I think that's all, a great look for us. So, I'll include that maybe on that Google form as well, and see if people are willing to jump on there and, maybe give us 15 minutes to talk about your experience at Geneseo and answer any questions. Any questions? That's kind of what we got in terms of catching people up with what's going on campus and with the team. But somebody's got to have some questions for me. This isn't much fun if you guys don't participate.
I'll go. I'll have
Okay, Abby.
So I've been keeping up with Geneseo. I mean, my brother's a senior this year. I guess I know, thank you for that, all of that background, but how is the team doing? I mean, I try to follow them on Instagram and whatnot too. So I see that they are staying active, and I think, like Emily, you've been doing a really good job of keeping the alumni engaged as well. So kudos to you. But I really am just curious. I mean, I myself am struggling, and I think of if I were in school right now and going through all of this and the NCAAs and whatnot, I would be beside myself. So I'm sending all of my thoughts to you guys constantly, but just want to check in and see how everyone's doing.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough. I mean, there's no question. I think initially the new athletes, you're a first year student, you're on campus, obviously they're super excited to be here. But I think that's worn off a little bit for sure. Think about, what did you want to do in your first month at college, right? Well, none of that's happening. So it's been rough on them, and they want to experience college a little bit, and they haven't really been able to do that. My concern was for the sophomores the most, really, because they didn't have that excitement of being new to college. They're still living on campus and on lockdown, if you will. So I think it was most difficult for them, or has been the most difficult for them. The people living off campus certainly have a little more freedom, than the people on campus. But, it's been hard, and that's where we have been trying to engage them as much as we can. And team culture, I think, is what people that have no idea of what our culture, I don't want to say no idea, I guess, but have little idea, have never seen our culture in action, haven't seen, the group together, and haven't really met the upperclassmen that much, because we can't put everybody in the same room. The upperclassmen can't really go into residence halls. So it's been tough, and I'm a little concerned about that, and that's where I'm desperate to get back in the pool. I can't wait for the first day that we can get on the pool deck and engage each other a little bit that way, face to face, and really start to work them out a little bit and teach them what it means to be a Blue Waver. So it's hard. Maybe there's a question here. Oh, no, Brian Schaub's just got to take the dogs for a walk, so he said goodbye. Thanks, Abby. Other questions? Sierra, you had a question earlier, and I shut you down. What was it?
I don't know if I don't remember what my question was, but I did, I guess, just have a question. I'm pretty immersed in the college world. I've actually stayed in it, and I'm currently working at Cal as an administrator there. So I'm in it, right, day to day, the roller coaster of what it means to be, a Division 1, 2, or 3 athlete in this, and all that goes on behind the scenes too. So I feel for you and the rest of the Geneseo administration, the AD, the president. It's kind of a nightmare to piece together. People are doing the best they can. So I know
Absolutely
how difficult it is. And so I think, well, I had a couple questions, but one just on eligibility. I know at the Division 1 level, the NCAA has said winter sports can defer their eligibility and maintain that. I'm curious, D3, how that is, and if anyone on the team is doing that, or how that's affected our team and all of the SUNYAC conference, really.
Yeah, just, originally the NCAA had come out with legislation that said if you didn't compete in more than half of your allowable dates of competition, which for us is 16, you could still maintain your eligibility. And conferences banded together and put a proposal into the NCAA, and basically asking for a blanket waiver for winter sports. And just recently, there's a process that it follows, but it's going up to the highest level of the NCAA now. So I'm anticipating a blanket waiver for all winter sports. So even if they go through the full season and go through NCAAs, they'll still get the year of eligibility back. Honestly, unfortunately for us, the students that we have and the majors that they're in, and not having, we have 2 graduate programs on campus. So I don't know that any of our student athletes will be staying at Geneseo and using that eligibility. It's certainly possible they could use it somewhere else. But, selfishly, I wanted to tell them all this fall, just stay home, take one class a semester, and I'll see you next fall. Those of you that are out there in the working world now, right, don't rush. Take your time, right? Enjoy college. Don't rush out. When you're in college, they all want to get the hell out of here as quick as they can and start making money. And I'm like, listen, you're going to eat the rest of your life. When you're like 40 and 50 years old, you're going to look back and be like, man, I wish I had that year back, but I can't really say that. It's difficult for me to say that in my role with the college as well, because we can't have students not returning and still pay the bills. But yeah, so right now it's looking like everybody's going to get a sorry, Randy, everybody's going to get a blanket waiver back. So
Got it.
Hopefully they'll find a way to use it. Yeah. How's it going for you guys? It is crazy, like you said, Sierra, because everything changes. You think, for me, I just thought I had a plan together where, we were going to move our conference championship back 2 weeks. The NCAA moved the qualifying date back 2 weeks, and everything seemed like it was coming together. We were going to get in the water soon. They allowed us to come back after Thanksgiving. The AD was fighting for a January 1st or 4th return, and I was really seeing that, okay, we can do this, right? And then all of a sudden the bomb dropped on Monday, where everything changed, and so it's really hard to be prepared. And I will say I'm really tired of telling the athletes I don't know, but I don't. There's so many questions I just don't have answers to, and my boss doesn't have answers to. So I'm sure you're seeing the same stuff there.
Yeah, I think it's a week by week process. I think that took the longest, or I think that was the biggest learning curve for the whole pandemic, right? It's just, there are no answers. And I'll say even at Cal, Power 5 school, from the chancellor down to the AD, to all of our programs, it's still a week by week program right now. We have football, but it's a return to play for all of our fall sports, trying to plan that out. And there's still so many questions, even if our student athletes can go home for Thanksgiving or not, based on testing. And so, yeah, week by week, we're all in it together, doing a week by week decisions.
Yeah, well, it's good to know that it's happening, that it's rolling out the same way at the big schools, and the stresses are the same. They're probably even more, a lot more money involved. But
Yeah.
Any other questions for?
Are there? Hi, Coach. Are there any specific ways you feel like the alumni can support you guys right now? Like, I don't know if Zoom is helpful to do with like your current student athletes or whatever, but are there ways that you think that we can be helpful right now?
Yeah, definitely, Abby, great to see you. Definitely anything you're willing to do to engage even small groups of the team. If we could take people that are doctors and have them, talk to our pre-med students for a few minutes and maybe talk a little bit about your time as a student athlete, or, the same thing for accounting or whatever field you're in, and just set up a small group so you can share a little bit and talk to them. I think all of that stuff would be, like I said, I'll send out a Google form on Monday that you can get back to me and know if you're willing to do that, or if there's a topic, if there's something that you guys feel like, hey, when I was in college, I wish somebody would have said this or told me that, and you're willing to share that stuff, I would definitely, love to set that up and have you share your wisdom and help our athletes be more successful. We've got a few other ideas.
Yeah, and actually, I think that is a perfect segue into kind of the second part of tonight, is more so how we can get involved as alumni. So not, sitting there directly speaking to them via Zoom, but we kind of have two other kind of main streams that we're looking at tonight on how we can really utilize the resources that we have as actually adults now, whether you'd like to admit it or not, and to help out those that are currently at school and those that are to come. So we're going to pass it over to Donnie, because he has kind of taken the lead as far as one of the routes that we're going to be talking about, specifically networking for those student athletes at school. So Donnie, take it away.
Thanks, Clint. Thanks, Coach. Yeah, good evening, everybody. It's nice to see some familiar faces here. My name is Donnie McLaughlin. I'm an alumni of Blue Wave in 2015. And I just wanted to talk about some of the importance of networking, and hopefully afterwards we've set a few things into motion to build a stronger alumni network for Geneseo to help both current students, potential students, and each other. So I reached out to Coach at the tail end of the summer to just discuss ways to help out the current accounting students to better prepare for grad school, the CPA exam, and just general job interviews for accounting positions. And through those discussions, we broadened the scope to the other upperclassmen of the team. So like juniors and seniors of all majors. And we looped in Andy Shunk, who's another Blue Wave alumni from 2016, and he's an associate at JP Morgan. And we talked through general networking tips, resume building, job applications, and interview prep. So overall, I thought it went really well. We spoke with the team for about an hour. They had some good questions. They followed up with us and tried to keep us connected. But the purpose of that call was to help these students prepare for starting their careers after college, which in my personal views, it's going to be a lot harder for them to start than it was for me to start in 2015. It's probably similar to an environment that the students who graduated in 2008 and 2009 dealt with during the Great Recession. A little bit different situation here, but COVID has had a pervasive disruption in the economy. Not just the US, but in the world. And companies are scaling back their growth and revenue projections, and they're going to be hiring fewer people, and there's going to be greater competition to get the few number of jobs that are left. So this isn't just for juniors and seniors, but for the new graduates in 2020. And most of the people on this call have felt COVID's effects and will continue to feel effects of COVID in the coming months and honestly probably years. So I just wanted to talk about a couple ideas that Andy and I spoke about at the PD event about networking. And I feel like many other schools have also caught on to this, right? So they might even have accredited courses that you can take on how to network effectively, where at Geneseo, this is kind of something that I had to learn on my own and through talking to other business majors. I talked to Josh Kaplan and Andrew Gorsica, and I don't think either of them are on this call. I don't think Andy's on this call either, but so that doesn't really help my case here. But I just want to make sure that there's a network for these students that they can reach out to or alumni can leverage to help them in their careers. And I think Blue Wave is a great place to start. So LinkedIn likes to tout to their statistic that you're 3 times as likely to get a job at a company that you have a pre-existing relationship with or a connection at. But I don't want you to think networking is just like hooking somebody up with a job. It's not me pulling strings to land somebody an internship, right? Like networking is just relational. It's basically building friends. So you're building a network of colleagues that you can talk to and ask questions to or discuss ways to better your resume, ways to prepare for an interview. And I think anybody on this call could probably spare 30 minutes to talk to a student about their career or career prep. And like Coach was saying before, I'm sure a lot of us on this call have made mistakes in our career, and we can use this as an opportunity to let someone else know how we could have done things differently so that they don't make the same mistakes. And then I think everyone has gotten from point A to a point B. And we can use this as an opportunity to show students how you're able to do that. You can talk how, even if you weren't a business major, you could still talk about if you were a bio major and how you got into the medical profession, or if you were a chemistry major, how you got into biomedical technology, or education, how you became a teacher, communications, if you went into marketing, and you can help guide them get from point A to point B. So as an alumni group, you yourself will probably not see an incredible amount of short-term benefits from doing this and doing this networking, but this also helps you in the long run as well. If you have a vast network, you're able to talk with more people in different fields, talk with people in different perspectives, and there's other opportunities to position yourself better than other people you might be competing against for a job or for a sale. So in an effort to give back to the students of Geneseo, as well as a chance for everyone on this call to build their personal networks, I hope you'd be able to fill out a following link that Clint is about to share with you all. So if you could fill out some contact information and current position, industry that you work in, the school can probably better match you up with students or even other alumni. So with this, we can build a stronger Geneseo community and presence to help these students in any way that we can, because they need it more now than ever. That's my spiel. Clint, do you have the link handy?
Yes. So what will happen is that Coach had alluded to sending up a follow-up email based on, it's going to have a bunch of stuff from what we had talked about today. So it'll be, a Google form from him based on alumni involvement, what we want out of it. Another portion of that will be if you want to participate in this networking opportunity that Donnie has taken over. The third portion of that will be what I'm about to talk about. But I am going to send out a link. Probably most of you don't have to fill this out because you're on the call. So if you registered for this event through a Geneseo email that you got, that means your information is updated. Hopefully you looked at that. It would have had your personal information on there. A lot of the time, what happens is that, we graduate as students and then we finally get an adult personal email, move on from what we had, and that stuff doesn't get updated. So we all have classmates that were on that team that never get any emails and then ask, why aren't I invited to things? Because they didn't update their info. So what we are going to do right now, since I need another beer, I don't know if anyone else does, but we're going to take a couple-minute break. If you haven't updated your information, this link that I sent in through the chat is that link to update just very basic first name, last name, email information. Because what the school is trying to do is create an entire database of those people and have it updated. So I sit on the SUNY Geneseo Alumni Association on the board, and our whole goal is to create this database. It's usually pretty easy for athletes because you have to maintain a certain GPA to stay on a team. But again, you graduate, you might get a different email and never check that one that they had on record. So if you would, make sure that your information is all updated. If you found out about this event via someone telling you about it, take a moment, update that via the link. And then, 2-3 minutes, I know I need to grab another drink, but take a little break and we'll say 7:40, we'll reconvene. And then Emily's got a fun little video for us to watch. So take a couple minutes. You can stay on here, chat about stuff if you want, catch up, but you can take that little bit of a break and we'll be back in a little bit.
Emily just told me that I was breaking up. My connection is bad. Sorry about that. You guys should have told me.
You never sounded better, Coach.
I'm trying to stay somewhere that's quiet and I don't have an 11 and a 13-year-old fighting and screaming and throwing stuff. So.
No, it's a lot more fun to just judge you.
Yeah, Pat, I never would have thought anything different from you. What's going on, McAllis?
Keep him busy.
I'm thoroughly disappointed that you didn't ask me any questions.
Well, I mean, everybody else was chiming in. The one thing that I can add is that, if you need anything or want anything, just ask. For somebody in my position, I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but I've got a 16-year-old and an 11-year-old in the house, so it's tough for me to initiate something. But if you need something or want something, you want me to talk to somebody, just ask. Yeah. I can squeeze it in. It's not a big deal. Just ask.
Right. Well, I think that's part of what I'm trying to do here, I guess, is at least collect information on what people are comfortable doing, and just trying to put together a list that I can go to and say, okay, I need somebody to do this. All right, Pat's willing. I know, you're a great alum, Pat, and you're always willing to help out, but, just going beyond that and trying to put a list of people together that I can use as a resource and connect some people and use them in a way that they want to contribute,
Yep.
So thank you, Pat, for that.
Just to ask. I can go through, I'm sitting in my home office now. I can go through and pull out all the stuff that I've gotten from coming to all those junior dinners.
Right? Yeah.
So
I wonder if they're going to do it virtually this year.
Pat, I think you
there's
were
my coaster.
like first junior dinner. Now, like 8 years ago, but
Nice. He was there when you were there, Abby?
yeah, and now I'm a lawyer also, which is not what I thought I would be doing. So, you know,
There you go.
Yeah.
how it works.
I mean, I think, that's something you say that, Abby, and I think that's an interesting topic too, and something that, might be good for the whole team to hear is just how, you have a path that you think you're going down. I think about like a Matt Zablensky that was a bio major and is now, like a VP or a manager at a bank and doing really well, but just, light years apart from where he thought he was going to be, and, sharing those experiences with students too. I think that's a really cool conversation.
Yeah, I've definitely emailed with a couple student athletes who have expressed interest in like going to law school and whatever, but I'm happy to talk to anyone or review, personal statements for grad school or, whatever folks need. I am fun employed for the time being, so hopefully by January I'll be starting, but we'll see. It's development right now.
Very nice.
All right, so we'll stick to it. As you know, I'm a stickler. So 7:40, let's get this ball rolling. So next, what I did is I did ask Emily to put together a little video from the freshmen, since as Coach had kind of alluded to, we don't even get to stalk them online because there are no results from any meets. So we can't even learn that part of them at this point. So I asked her to put together a little a little intro video from them, so we get to kind of see these kids that still decided on Geneseo even though they're sitting with a mask on in their room. So Emily, take it away.
So the host disabled screen sharing. So
we're just going to private message the host real quick to see if they can enable screen sharing. Or Tracy, if you can hear us. Try it again.
I'm the co-host, so what do I have to do?
There we go. We got it.
We
got it. See, I told you I could figure it out.
Good job, Clint.
All right, can everyone see? Good.
All right, cool.
Hi, my name is Amaya DiGiovanni, and I'm from Duanesburg, New York. My major is English Adolescent Education, and I swim the 100 and 200 freestyle. My favorite thing about Geneseo so far is being part of such an amazing team.
What's up? I'm Chris Weber. I'm from Huntington, which is on Long Island. Right now, I'm undecided for my major. My events are the 1 fly and 2 fly, and also mid free. And the favorite thing about Geneseo so far has to be the team, the group of guys. They're awesome, super fun. So yeah.
I'm majoring in education with either a minor in art or English. My events are backstroke and breaststroke and freestyle. And my favorite thing about Geneseo is the atmosphere and the team, even though I'm not on campus yet, but I'm excited.
My name is Trent Makovich. I'm from Addison, New York. My major is communications. I don't have a minor yet. My events are 1 and 3 meter diving. And my favorite thing about Geneseo so far would either be meeting new people or going down and playing basketball at the courts when I have free time.
Hi, my name is Grace Canale. I'm from Fairport, New York. I'm a bio major. I swim sprint free, back, and fly. And my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is being part of an athletic team and getting to meet everybody on the team.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Michael Dwyer. I'm from Rockland County, New York. My major is business admin. My events are the 100 and 200 fly, and my favorite thing about Geneseo has been meeting all the people.
Hi, my name's Nina. I'm from Niskayuna, New York. I'm a biology major and I'm a sprint freestyle and backstroker. I would say my favorite thing about Geneseo is the swim team, and I'd also have to say the food.
My name is Jacob Fargo. I'm from Pittsburgh, New York. My major is early childhood education. I swim distance, and my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is meeting everyone on the team.
All right, what's going on? My name is Tyler Bishoping. I am a mid-distance freestyler from Henrietta, New York. I am a junior transfer. My major is business administration. And I'd have to say my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is Lunch Gang.
Hi, my name is Reagan DeFarella. I'm a geological sciences and adolescent education major from Attica, New York, and I swim the breaststroke. My favorite thing about Geneseo so far has got to be the people. Classes can be very, very stressful, especially with everything being moved online. We have a really tight-knit community here in Geneseo, especially on the swim team. Everyone is so helpful and supportive, and I truly enjoy spending time with them.
Hi, my name is Taryn Chang. I was from Roslyn Heights, New York. My major is business administration. I swim the 100 breast and 2 breast, and my favorite thing about Geneseo is the people.
Hello, my name is Ben Ludlow. My hometown is Geneseo, New York. My major is accounting. My events are the 200 fly and 400 IM. And my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is the swim team.
I'm Marissa, and I'm a bio major from Buffalo, New York. I am a diver, and my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is probably the team atmosphere and making new friends.
Hello, I'm Jordan Nielsen. I'm a freshman here at Geneseo. I live in Hauppauge, New York. My major is physics, and my events are sprint freestyle. And one thing I like about this college is all the people I've met. I love the team, and it's a great atmosphere.
Hi, my name is Ashley Felber. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I swim backstroke and IM, and I'm a bio major. And my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is all the people that I met.
Hi, my name is Phil Morgan. I'm from Livonia, New York. I am a bio major. I swim backstroke and IM, and my favorite part is all the people that I've met.
Hi, my name is Jessica Gordon, and I'm from Clifton Park, New York. I'm an early education and special education major with a concentration in English. I will be swimming breaststroke, mid-distance free, and IM. And my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is the amazing team atmosphere.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Chester Perkin. I'm from Smithtown, Long Island. My major is education. I swim the 100 and 200 yard backstroke and sometimes fly. And so far, my favorite thing about Geneseo has definitely been, obviously, the swim team. It's just been fun hanging out with everyone, going to the gym, trying to get fit for hopefully the upcoming season. But yeah, hopefully all you guys are doing well. And I just want to introduce myself.
Hi, my name is Jess Napier. I'm from Buffalo, New York, and I'm a biology major, hopefully going into marine biology. I swim sprint, freestyle, and backstroke. And my favorite part of Geneseo so far is the close-knit team atmosphere that Geneseo provides.
That was good.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Fisher, and I'm from Orchard Park, New York. I am a business administration major, and I swim breaststroke and sprint freestyle. And my favorite thing about Geneseo so far is all the awesome people I've met.
All right, that's it. Sorry for any of the issues. Not a Zoom expert yet.
Hey, it was perfect. Thank you so much. That was great. Yeah, it was awesome to see, and it made me feel really old. So that's great. And so I hope all of you were able to watch that and kind of get that excitement for how you felt when you started at Geneseo. Kind of to Coach's point, think about your recruiting trip and why you ended up making that decision. So we all have different reasons as to why we ended up going to Geneseo. And they probably all involve really good stories as to why you ended up making that decision. and how you ended up feeling that, that time that you got to campus and were able to make that, make those connections with the team, which a lot of them really haven't been able to do yet. So I think, this kind of is a great time to kind of get into my aspect of this evening. And that is the fact that we run so deep in the history of individuals that were swimmers and divers at Geneseo. And to me, you can look across this screen and there are people on here that I would consider very, very, very close friends that I never even swam with at Geneseo. I mean, I can tell, Erin raises her hand. I'm invited to weddings that I wasn't even, I wasn't on the team at the same time. So that you make those genuine connections with those individuals and you can really call on them when you need to. And so the importance of the team and the time that we're in right now and the stress that pool falling apart. And the fact that SUNY, even though it's a state institution, the funding that comes from the actual state, I think is below 8% now. Coach might know a little bit more than that, but it's not really funded so much by the state anymore. So we need to be able to give what we can back. And I think if you think about a time when you were on the team, the team was what, 50, 60 people at one point. So think of that for a moment. 4 class years made up about 50 to 60 people, men and women added together. What I want to do and what Coach wants to do as well is we want to get together and raise enough money to create an endowment. So an endowment is creating a certain X amount of money. The threshold at Geneseo to create an endowment is $25,000. That's the minimum. You have to raise $25,000 in order to start an endowment. That goes into an account, and then you earn a return on that every single year. As far as sports teams concerned, there is the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team, and the men's ice hockey team. They've been able to create endowments. I know all of you sitting there are saying, well, fuck that shit. We can create an endowment because we're better than that. We are so strong. We've been around for so long. We are such a great, large, tight-knit group of people that we can get that together and we can do it. And I think that we can do it really well. So we need to be able to create that $25K. And I think that we should be able to do it pretty quickly. Now at Geneseo, what can happen is that they have a platform that's very similar to, it's a crowdfunding source for nonprofits. So very much like a GoFundMe that, thrusted me into the news spotlight when NCAAs were an issue. But this can actually be raised funds for nonprofits. So what we are going to try and set up is a year campaign to raise $25K, hopefully more than that, in order to create an endowment. Each year with that endowment, you usually see a return of 3 to 5% earned off of that endowment that you can then use. As soon as you put money into an endowment, it stays in there. You can't touch that money. You just get that return back. And so this past year, it was a 4% return. So if you are thinking about that with like $25K, it's about $1,000 that you would earn off of that. But obviously we want to create that and grow. So this is just the beginning of that. And so what we want to do is over the course of the next year, run this campaign, make that 25 grand to start it. Obviously, I would love to see that double in this year. Again, if you think about it, we've got 50 to 60 people that were on the team at one point together. In order to get that, if you had 50 people donate $42 a month, we would make that really easy in a year. I know there are people out there that say, I can't do $42 a month. That's perfectly fine. If you're sitting there and you can say, well, I could do like $10 a month, that's awesome, because there are other people, Randy and myself, and older alumni that have been around a little bit longer that can do more than that. And so the thing is that we have so many people that we can reach out to get on board, give what they can, and we can make that money so that we can get that back over time. what we aim to do is for the next year is to establish the endowment. So this isn't a campaign to establish it. And that what we aim to do is that every year after that is to have an annual day of giving for the Geneseo swimming and diving team that we can then add to that endowment. You keep that endowment growing year after year, they'll get more of a return from that. And that is money that will always be there for the swimming and diving team. So it's something that's locked in. Again, it's pretty easy to think about that in monthly deductions. So if you think about this, trying to do it in a year, awesome if we do it beforehand, but we're going to keep that going for a full year to get as much money as we can to put into that. And so if you think about it, $25 a month, all of a sudden you're donating $300 for the year. What I also want you to think about, and this is something, even if you can only donate $20 in total, is that for this year in 2020, tax laws are different. So as you start to learn how to do your taxes, for those that are younger, those of us that are a little older, tax laws have changed a bunch in recent years, but this year, because of the CARES law that was put into effect, even if you do a standard deduction or if you itemize your deductions, you can still claim up to $300 for a monetary donation. So even if you just do your standard deduction, you can still do that on top of it. So we've got until the end of 2020. I hope Donnie just talks to all of you about it. But if you've got the end of 2020 to give a pretty good lump sum, and you get to still claim that. So as you become an adult, you think about ways that you can claim that on your taxes and actually get a little break from it. But that's something you can think about. And so I know a lot of kind of new information was thrown at a lot of you with this, but what can happen is that that's the campaign goal. You'll get a follow-up email, and that is going to be a link from me, is not only the link to the actual crowdfunding site, but what I need from all of you, because clearly all of you are interested in getting reconnected, is to be little agents as far as this campaign is concerned. I need swimmers, I need divers, I need people from the men's team, from the women's team, to be agents for this campaign, to be willing to say, hey, yeah, you know what? I'll reach out to all of my classmates from 2014, and I will ask them if they'd be willing to donate X amount of money. Again, we were all on the team with like 60 people at the same time. So I don't think that this is going to be an issue. I'm kind of looking a little bit more towards the older crowd, because we do have a younger crowd on today's event, but we need to tap into those individuals that didn't get on. Look at that, Randy, starting the donation with 500, and they'll match the first 1,000 after that. So I want you to just see that right here, right now. If you are already donating money back, we can, I already have a monthly deduction every month. So look at this, just rolling in. So I have a monthly donation to the swim team every single month. For the next year, that is going to be then rerouted to this campaign. And so, yeah, Jade, we're on the older side. But so what I want you to do is think about this. Think about what you are able to give every single month, and especially for this next year, what you're able to contribute to this campaign. This is something that we'll be able to lock in forever. And so the thing is that this endowment is going to secure annual funding to support success of the Blue Wave. And this will aid in providing equipment, facilities, experiences for those athletes that are here right now and those ones that will be coming in the future for years to come. So I really want you to think about it. Think about what you can donate per month. Get on that track, and let me tell you, as soon as you make it an automatic deduction month by month, you won't even realize that it's coming out, and it'll be easier for you to give back. So think about that. Look around the screen. Think about all these people that you know, the great times that you had, and what you're able to give monetarily month to month. All right. I know, as you get older, it's always about money and what you can give back and what you can afford to do, but it really is kind of one of those things you got to prioritize and think about. So that's the end of my spiel. You will get, as I said, a follow-up email that's going to include a bunch of different stuff from Coach Donnie and myself. We are running right on time, 2 minutes to that 1 hour mark. I do thank you all for joining us tonight. And I really want you to take away from this. I mean, it was great. It was great to see so many of your faces, even if I haven't met you in person before. But I want you to take away from this the strength and power that our team had and that alumni base that we have, and that we can do a lot of really good work with it. I'm not reading all of this chat because I was talking the whole time. But does anyone have any specific questions to the campaign for the endowment?
And what, if you know, or Coach, if you know, what have we raised in like past big pushes that Geneseo has done, like the Knights Challenge and stuff over years? Like, have we hit 25K before in a year, or is this like a stretch goal for us?
I don't know specific.
Yeah, for the Knights Challenge, I can, we definitely didn't hit that number, but Randy, back in 2000 and what year was that, Randy? I don't even remember. The year that we got our scoreboard, Randy rallied around Duncan Hinckley's passing, and we were able to raise just about that $25,000. So I think it's definitely doable. And I think something to consider the timing right now as well. You see, Michigan State just cut their program. They just announced this week that they're cutting swimming and diving after this season. And while I don't necessarily think that we're at risk right now, I think this is definitely something that would help protect our program a little bit and make sure that there's a little bit more there that they would have to think about if they ever thought about cutting swimming and diving here. So I think while maybe we haven't had the right campaign or the right goal, or in terms of why we're raising the money, and like Clint said, I think the easiest way is definitely the credit card donation monthly. I think works pretty well. But I think if the other part of it too, I think, is we need to get people on board with trying to help out the cause a little bit, and giving what you can give, but then maybe trying to get two friends that aren't on the call right now and encourage them to give a little bit, And we have over 400 alums, right? If we think about that, over 400 alums on my mailing list. If you divide 25,000 by 400, it's not that much, And I think we could definitely get there for sure, And ultimately, I'd love to see it grow. I'd love to continue to try and have a day of giving annually where we can increase that and make the return even bigger. I'm willing to contribute some of the money from our swimming lessons. We have the swimming lessons program now, and Emily's done a great job building that up a little bit, and we can throw maybe half of the money we earn there into that fund as well to keep growing, with maybe the goal of a little bit longer term, maybe hitting $100,000 where the spinoff is closer to $5 million. And that would then have a pretty good impact on the team on a yearly basis that we wouldn't have to worry about. Things that I could see doing with that money, they don't want us to talk about staffing, but right now our strength coach, a lot of you, when you were on the team, we didn't have a strength coach in the weight room. Now Casey's in there every day in every strength session, but we pay him out of our fundraising, and we pay him, a little bit less than that 5,000, but that could keep that position there where we don't have to worry about raising the money for something like that, and it definitely benefits all the athletes for sure. So, while the number is a little bit higher than where we've been, again, I'm not sure we've had the right reason to give to hit that number.
Any other questions on the endowment? All right. Well, again, you'll get all of this information sent out to you for a follow-up. I will hound you for it. But yes, if you guys, any of you, even if you just feel comfortable reaching out to 5 other people, return that email that will be sent out, get in touch with myself, because we really just got to start tapping into the resources that we have. So as far as tracking the donations, what will happen is that there will be a specific link to the campaign itself that will go to this new crowdfunding site that Geneseo and nonprofits have access to, and they will be specific to the campaign itself. So it'll be an identified link that will be just for this. and it'll go directly through that. Again, tax deduction and everything like that. So that link I'm ironing out, finalizing that with the Alumni Relations and Annual Giving on Monday. So that will come out in the final, the follow-up email. You'll get that information. For those of you that may already have monthly deductions like myself, I think Randy does as well, those can be transferred over to the actual campaign for that period of time and then reset when the campaign is over. So if you guys have any questions in regards to that, please feel free to shoot me, a personal email, get in touch with myself, but there will be that follow-up email that will have everything from Coach Donnie and myself. But thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. It was great to see all of you. Ended right on time. And yeah, go Blue Wave.
It's good seeing everyone.
Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate y'all coming on. Hopefully we can do something like this again in the near future. It's great to see everybody. Danielle's got one of her little guys there. Great to see you. All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye. Night. Good to see you guys.